first of all, we would like just to do the thanks to the organizer for the symposium, for the rich variety of proposals that fall within the concepts of animal interior. I think that is quite interesting how you can join all these kind of different points. The presentation consists in two parts. The first will be given by me, Francisco, and the second one by Paula, which will be shown via video. Yes. Yes. The rock dove, Columbia livia, far from the contemporary perception that consider it a urban pest, was one of the first animals domesticated by humankind. The millennium-long coexistence is attested by numerous traces, the oldest of which date back to the Sumerian iconography and Egyptian mural, such as one of the green room of the Akhenaten Palace in Amarga from 1315 before Christ. See this? One second. Oh, sorry, back. Yes, it's this picture. And the next, yes. According to research and specialist John Colin Jerokmark, decoboats were among the first globalized architectural form exhibiting great typological diversity. From social and cultural perspective, architecture is crucial to establishing the physical boundaries of the habitat and, by extension, the cultural and social territorial frontiers between species. As you can see in the historical reference, architecture actively participates in the process of othering and exclusion by materially and symbolically. Although rarely acknowledged in the history of architecture, the decoboats appear with a notable presence in certain emblematic Renaissance texts. As evident at the beginning was Alberti, but this reference is as evident by Viollet Leduc in his famous dictionary, which describes and illustrates a series of decoboats in France, where you can find, this is the particular reference, you can find a particular attention to the cylindrical tower with a conical roof equipped with a curious central rotating mechanism that allow to access to all the nest. I don't know, you can understand that the principal column and the stairs allow to a rotation. A notable example is found in the island of Tinos, Greece, which hosts a prolific tradition which up around 1,100 decoboats dating around 18th century. These are predominantly small square towers distinguished by their elaborated construction and ornamentation. Yes, you can see there all the ornamentation that they have. And the regional distinction is also observed in the 19th century in Spain, particularly in the Meseta Central and the southern region, where decoboats were mostly built as a square plan tower resembling military fortification. There is both type of typology, this with a circular one in the Meseta Central and the square plan, this in the south, but there is no reference here. Yes. By the other hand, in the 19th century in Europe, Belgium established itself at the epicenter of the modern pigeon breeding, with a particular relevance during the World Wars. Each decoboat, as you can see here in the image, each decoboat functioned as an independent node within a territorial network where the building acted as an interface between species, technologies, and geography. The things that you can see here, this is the interface, what I try to explain. This small history, the layering of the multiple uses and fluid interspecies habitat connection that characterize it has little to do with the 19th century hygienic paradigm of housing around which architecture will be organized as a discipline. I mean, now the discipline is organized like building a block, a human block on a plot, with a clear compartmentation of where have to be human and the other kind of animals. So the question is, yes, that we are showing two examples of how the typology of this architecture can explore this uncompartmentalized and unfenced interspecies habitation. The first one is in the forest landscape of the French Landes. One of the most ancient bee hunting practice in Europe still persists. The palombière emblems of a particular culture intertwined with remarkable architectural sophistication, linked to the hunting and capture of the good pigeons, Columba palumbus, that is not the same, but is the part of the family, and is also living with us in the city. Research Susana Velasco highlight the hybridity of this building, both camouflated and audacity in their construction, the trap and the habit, the domestic and the wild. One of the most distinctive features of the palombière is the gradual blurring of its boundaries. There is also something that we have seen here, the different kind of boundaries. No, it's surprisingly domestic core. Some even equip it with dishwasher, bathroom, elevator, and whatever thing that you can see. I don't know. Yes, whatever thing that you can see in the image exist in this kind of place. Some is invisible from the surrounding forest and is organized along diagonal sidelight connected in two main spaces, the kitchen dining area and the observation cabin. Yes, these are also. Yes. The activity of the palombière extend beyond the core and its immediate surrounding. The attraction of the bird is achieved through a complex of choreography of where positioned in the surrounding trees. As you can see also in the next image, yes, this is what they tried at the beginning how they try to attract the birds. And also, resident pigeons equipped with a hood to restrict their vision, remotely controlled by automatons. This is the machine that you can see here. No, that there's a way to try to attract. The thing is that the automata are made up of doves that in the most case are wooden or cardboard figure culturally very linked to the craft activity. This is like to reference just how the woman was focused in this part. Now I will try to put Paula's presentation.
Ageia is a rooftop dovecote typical of Egypt, which consists of a tall-built wooden tower where pigeons are raised, trained, and cared for. These structures, which often sit on top of unfinished buildings, form a very distinctive type of urban vernacular architecture. The dovecotes of Cairo play an active role in shaping both the material and symbolic landscape of the city. Across the suburban horizon, the proliferation of these wooden towers rising from rooftops immediately catch the eye. In an overcrowded city where there is no space left on the ground, rooftops become sites of animal keeping. Poultry, rabbits, sheep, goats, pigs, and even cows. But keeping is nothing more than a practical activity. It is deeply rooted in Egyptian culture and can even be competitive. Artists, jewelers, school children, and shopkeepers, the Gawi, raise dozens of birds, not only pigeons, inside the Gaia. Several researchers and documentarians highlight how certain iconic towers exemplify this typology and how they are built, used, and maintained. Photographic and ethnographic work shows the poetic choreographies of pigeons flying in groups over these decorated self-built wooden towers. They rise above the rooftops and create a kind of second city over the city, one in which the Gawi recognize themselves as a community. The Gaia becomes another kind of city and another way of being together, where what is private and what is common constantly overlap, and also different habitats overlap. There is more to these extractors anyway than their presence in the skyline. At the very top of the Gaia lays an incubator room, a chamber that is both enclosed and open. Along its perimeter live the less valuable feral pigeons occupying two or three sides. The caretaker stands in this area. All activity happens within this usually quadrangular space. The kept perimeter defines a central core, and also courtyard, where pigeons are fed directly on the ground. A net is stretched above prevents them from flying out, as you can see in the picture. It is a secluded place because the tower is as high as its close perimeter. So it is impossible to see from outside what is happening inside. The broader side is the most technically kept, where we usually find a hatch of the staircase and a few basic amenities. A sink, a light, a small refrigerator, and a chair, for example, uh, tell about a story of habitability. Caretakers spend long periods of time within this small wooden volume. In the corner, they typically install a low wooden dome functioning as a lookout. It is connected to strings, as you can see, and nets attached to a small mechanism used to trap pigeons that land in this perimeter. From this spot, the Gawi hide to capture new tenants. Turning pigeons is centered on guiding and controlling the collective flight of the flock. A distinctive feature of pigeon breeding is that if the birds receive proper care and training, they come to regard the Gaia as their home and always return to it. If they are dissatisfied, they may join the flock of a neighboring tower. In the more elaborate Gaia, each pigeon has a personalized niche fitted with these small items that allow to rest, feed, and drink or nest. The Gawi use a set of codes, whistle, taps, a stick, the waving of a flag, to direct the beats from the height of the tower, and even when the pigeons are out of sight. Competitions emerge between towers. The largest flock with the most controlled flight succeeds in attracting pigeons from the dovecotes. This game is both a symbol of power and social status, and expression of peace, freedom, and self-organized way of being together that fosters interspecies attentiveness. Many Gawi speak of a bond of affection with their pigeons, sometimes comparing them to their children and caring for them as part of their family. They describe a passion that goes well beyond a job, devoting at least 5 hours of intensive work per day and wishing they could spend even more time in their dovecotes. To conclude, the Geisha, like the palombier, is a sophisticated cultural device. It regulates and it is also regulated. It catalyzes and sustains everyday interspecies practice while displacing and reframing the meaning of public, the common, and the political in the city. They reveal expanded architectural history and preserves refined techniques and intricate dilemmas capable of informing an ecosocial remaining of architectural practice. And this leads to several design questions with which we would like to close. Did the pigeon flights, wings, and habits inscribe their agency into the architecture of the dovecote and the domestic assemblage that housed it? How did interspecies dynamic, flight, trajectories, feeding, routinous patterns of rest affect the layout of circulations, materials, niche, rooms, and everyday practice of work, play, and care within these structures? And finally, is it tenable to interpret double codes and make devices serving human purposes when their organization suggests a co-production on space across species? We leave you with these questions. Thank you.